Hello, my name is Krishna Manriquez and I am going to present to you a video reflection about my professional practice. The objective of this video is to present a personal reflection about my professional practice as a teacher, including what I have learned and my struggles. First of all, I would like to thank Miss Marisol Mora. She was my collaborative teacher and my biggest support throughout this semester. The name of the school in which I am doing my professional practice is Liceo Técnico Pedro del Río Sañarto. The school is located in Hualpén and offers specialties for the students to graduate with a technician degree. These specialties are hospitality, gastronomy, administration, and nursery. The school has 504 students and 31 teachers in total. On the other hand, the class that I choose to do my needs analysis and the unit plan is 11th grade D. They are taking the hospitality specialization and there are a total of 18 students. I believe that among all the 11 grades, this class has the most variety in terms of English language skills. So overall, they are between A2 and B1. The needs analysis process provided valuable insights into my learners' specific knowledge gaps, their learning preferences, and their goals. So, by assessing their backgrounds, their skills, and their motivations, I identified areas that require more focus and adjustments in the curriculum itself. The analysis revealed that learners prefer learning styles such as visual or hands on approaches and highlighted any barriers they faced, like time or limited resources. This information allowed me to tailor the content, the delivery methods, and assessments to better align with their needs and also ensuring a more engaging and effective learning experience for them. Now, some of the questions that I applied to the students were specifically about their speaking, writing, reading, and listening skills, and also if they like to work alone or in groups, which I believe are the most relevant questions since I can recognize their preferences and also their strengths and weaknesses. Here are two graphics that represents the general answers of the students. And with this information, I took the pedagogical decisions that I included in the unit plan to supply the different needs within my students. I would like to start by saying that I prepared the unit number 4 for the 11th grade following the plans of the Ministry of Education. However, because the head teachers of each specialty asked me to make pedagogical material in the last unit that will help the students with their practices next year, I had to modify all my lessons and objectives. So, the objectives of the unit plan that I implemented are for the lesson 1 to understand basic principles of creating materials for their professional practice. For the lesson 2 to identify the learning needs of people in their field to guide material creation. Lesson 3 to create material that is easy to use and suit different learning styles. And for the lesson 4 to assess their own material through feedback and make improvements based on reflection. The information that I gathered in the needs analysis help tailor the lesson objectives to focus on areas requiring improvement and addressing specific needs, as well as reinforcing the skills that students felt confident in and had already acquired in previous years. And also, it guided the selection of content, activities, and assessment methods that are aligned with learners' priorities. The needs analysis helped me to identify what students needed to learn and what challenges they faced. So, this information guided the choice of teaching materials that match their level, interest, and goals. And it also led to adapting lessons to make them more engaging and effective for students' specific learning needs. So, for example, the needs analysis showed that the students prefer to work in groups. So, I decided to implement more activities in which they have to work with each other and interact so they can share different opinions. instead of working alone. And also, I ask them their interest in order to implement it in some activities or class discussions. To ensure accessibility, I used UDL strategies for students. So, first, I provided materials in multiple formats, for example, visual, audio, and text, to support different learning styles. Now, for students with special needs, I offer extra time, simplify instructions, and the use of TICs. I also incorporated group work to promote peer support and ensure everyone could actively participate. Now, my idea in general was to foster collaboration, their independence, and their autonomy. Because of that, I try to support multiple ways for students to perceive information, and also I wanted students to identify their own way of learning. Uh, Now I believe that this will help them not only in English classes but in all the other school courses. Guided by the needs analysis, I constantly use formative assessment as class discussions, TICs, monitoring, and ICQs. And of course, a final summative assessment that was approached. This allowed me to provide immediate feedback to individual needs. So for students struggling with certain concepts, I offer additional practice and clarification. So by aligning assessments with students' learning preferences and challenges, I ensure that the feedback was constructive, timely, and helped guide their continued progress in the learning process. For all of this, I used some websites like Kahoot, Quizlet, WordWall, and ClassDojo. The needs analysis revealed cultural and linguistic factors such as students' diverse language backgrounds and different levels of proficiency in the English language, which most of them were not at a high level. I considered this by using simplified language in my lessons, and I incorporated culturally relevant materials with examples that students experience in their daily life, ensuring content resonated with students' experiences. Additionally, I included visual aids, multimedia, and scaffolding techniques to supply language gaps. I believe that this approach helped me to create an inclusive environment where all students could relate to the material, fostering engagement and understanding. Overall, my efforts were well planned in terms of addressing students' needs. I believe that the students improve engagement and performance throughout the unit. They also demonstrated better understanding through formative assessments and the constant feedback that I gave to them, showing a lot of progress in their language skills as well as in their confidence and attitude with which they deal uh, with English as a second language. The tailored materials and teaching strategies help meet diverse learning styles and abilities, resulting in increased confidence and participation from all the students, or at least the majority of them. Now, for my future classes, I would like to incorporate more interactive activities. I will also provide clearer instructions and more differentiated support for struggling students, ensuring lessons are more inclusive and accessible for all of them. During my teaching practice, I learned the importance of adapting lessons to diverse learning styles and needs and creating a more inclusive environment so every student can understand and learn. Also, I think that even if it's a little bit of improvement in the English skills that the students develop with my classes, that is a great indicator of how I perform as a teacher. I believe that the best feedback that I can receive as a teacher is the one that my students give to me. If I listen and pay attention to what the students like and need, I have the key to prepare all my lessons and make them engaging for them. However, I think I need to improve time management and I have to implement more ICQs to my classes. Sometimes I cannot finish all my lessons since some things happen that interrupt them, but I believe that with more time and practice, I can achieve that. For ICQs, I know that is a strategy that I have to use in classes, but for some reason I don't use them very much, so I would like to start working on it. Now, I believe that in this semester of professional practice, my vocation has come to the fore. I got to experience what it is really like to be a teacher, and I'm very grateful because the school gave me the confidence to be able to make decisions on my own and learn from them. Also, I learned what it is like to create a connection with your students that helped me to be able to create classes that are focused on them so that they can learn in a meaningful way. Finally, with this experience, I think I will take with me the different dynamics that I did in almost every class. For example, when I did a paperwork for them to learn phonetics, because as it is something different, the students are more motivated, and at the end of the day, they remember it and they learn. This is the reference that I use to support my reflection. Thank you very much for your attention.